Today we're going to be making another recipe from my new cookbook, my classic vanilla cake. You can find the recipe on page 156, but it's also on my website, sweetestmenu.com, and I'll link to the free printable recipe below. But you're going to love this one because you can throw out any ideas you have about vanilla cakes being dry or boring. This one has a beautiful velvety texture and is anything but boring, and it leaves it wide open for you to decorate it however you wish. I'm going to be sharing all my secrets for how I get the perfect texture on my vanilla cakes. I've just preheated my oven. And now we're going to measure out our ingredients. I'm using my kitchen scale here. Now we're actually not starting this recipe by creaming together the butter and sugar like a lot of cakes start that way, but we're actually starting with our dry ingredients because we're using something today called the reverse creaming method. So we're going to start by measuring out our flour. Now the reason this method actually works is because you are actually going to add the butter in last, which I know sounds just so counterintuitive, but it's going to coat the butter in flour and the flour in butter, and it actually creates this barrier which makes it harder for the cake to develop gluten. And the gluten is what can make a tough or dry cake. I'm using caster sugar today. We use this in a lot of our baking in Australia, but you can definitely just use granulated sugar. But caster sugar is just a fine white sugar and it dissolves really, really easily, which makes it great for baking. Add 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. In it goes. And our salt. And we're just going to give that a little mix together before we add our butter. So you want to be able to easily press your finger or thumb into the butter and make an indent. So in goes the butter. So now we're going to mix this. We're going to start on low speed and then turn up to medium speed, and it's going to end up looking like dry breadcrumbs, but don't worry, you are on the right track. So you just want to make sure you're doing this on low speed so the dry ingredients don't fly everywhere. And as you can see, it'll slowly come together and look, well, exactly like breadcrumbs. And you just want to make sure that there's no pieces of butter bigger than a pea. We can move on to adding our eggs. We're just going to add 3 eggs, but do them one at a time, mixing in between. So this is the part of the cake when I feel like it just feels wrong. You feel like you've done something wrong. It doesn't look like a normal cake batter, but I can promise you are doing everything right. We'll add the final egg. Now it hasn't quite come together, but that's okay. Now we're going to move on and add our milk, which needs to be at room temperature, and our vanilla. So I'm just going to add all of it in there. And our vanilla. Again, I measure this with my heart. Add a lot. I think the official measurement is 2 teaspoons, but 2, 3, you know, measure as you wish. It's going to turn into a bit of a sloppy mess, but again, you've got to trust the process. Our final ingredient is a little bit of Greek yogurt or natural yogurt. It should be unsweetened. You can also use sour cream if that's what you have on hand. And at this stage, I'm going to swap over to a spatula, much more like a regular cake batter. My batter is a little bit lumpy. That's okay. That's probably because my milk was not fully at room temperature. I have greased and lined 3 6-inch cake tins, which is what we're going to use today. You can use 2 8-inch cake tins or even a 1 9 by 13 sheet pan. So to make sure this is sort of even, I'm going to use my kitchen scale. If I wasn't doing it for you, I probably would just spoon it out. So now our 3 beautiful cakes are ready to hit the oven. They will take around 25 to 30 minutes, and then we can come back and make our vanilla buttercream. So our cakes have come out of the oven and I'm just going to leave them on this cooling rack and we're going to get started on our vanilla buttercream. Ooh. So we're going to make my favorite vanilla buttercream. It's really simple, only basic ingredients, but what it comes down to is making sure you get the mixing just right. So we're going to start with really soft butter, really soft butter. Not melted, but soft because we want to whip it. So I'm going to pop that into my stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer, but making it easy for ourselves today, and I'm using the paddle attachment. I'm going to start by mixing that on medium speed for a few minutes until it goes really soft and fluffy and creamy. So I've just stopped it and scraped down the side of the bowl, and you can see the butter has turned lovely and light and fluffy. So now what we're going to do is add some icing sugar, also known as powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar. It'd be great if you can sift this. I've already sifted mine because that's very boring to watch. And I've also got some milk here. You can use cream. I like to use milk, but you need to make sure it's at room temperature. Now this is where a lot of people go wrong because many recipes don't specify that. And if you add cold milk to your warmed butter mixture or room temperature mixture, it's going to increase the likelihood that it's going to split, and that's when you can get a curdled buttercream or one that's a bit grainy and not smooth and lovely in texture. So let's add in some of our icing sugar. I'm going to add in about half. I'm going to add in a tablespoon or 2 of milk. Measuring with our heart. Our vanilla. You're going to want to start on low, and then once everything is combined and starts to come together, flick that back up to medium. So you can see it's getting lovely and fluffy, great texture. So we're going to add the rest of our icing sugar. Dash more milk. You want to be careful here though, because if you add too much milk and it goes a bit too runny or sloppy, it can be a little bit hard to get it back. But if it's too thick, it's quite hard to spread on the cake. So just use your milk very sparingly, and then back on it goes on a low speed and then back up to medium. You can see our buttercream is beautiful. It's light and fluffy and so creamy. So we've got our 3 beautiful cakes here. You can see that they haven't domed too much, but I am just going to level them slightly just to make it easier to layer and stack them. But it's a great opportunity for you to see the texture on that cake. I'm just going to grab the first cake here, add some buttercream and spread it out on the top. I'm going to use my offset spatula, which is this little guy. It's great for decorating cakes and smoothing out icing. Next layer on top. I've also committed the baking sin, and I am frosting these while they're still slightly warm, so probably be a little bit wonky. Last layer on top. Isn't she looking lovely? And then we're just going to coat the entire thing in our buttercream. We should have the perfect amount. Running a spoon around the top to give it a little bit of a swirl. You can see the buttercream was the perfect amount just to coat the cake. Not too much frosting. In my book, we did a lovely little rim of sprinkles, so I'm going to attempt that now. There's no real easy way to do this. Well, not that I know of anyway. Just using my hands. And there's no need to be perfect here. So there you have it, my classic vanilla cake. It's not perfect, but it is beautiful. 3 layers of light and delicious vanilla cake, all covered in a beautiful vanilla frosting. I've just cut the cake in half because I want to take a moment for you to see the texture on that cake. Can you see how light and fluffy it is? It's so soft, so even, and has such a beautiful crumb. The texture on this cake is just extraordinary. Honestly, out of everything in my book and on my website, this is one of my favorite things to make and eat.